Hey there, Marie. I heard that you and my brother finally found a place where you both want to move into. Is that right?
Yeah, I guess you've already heard the big news then. But Randy and I were going to be moving into our new house next month. Isn't that exciting? We hope that you and all your family can come and visit us there as soon as we have everything unpacked and cleaned up.
Oh, we just love to do that, but I heard that your new house is going to be pretty far from Randy's work. Is that true?
Yeah, it is going to be just a little far for Randy, unfortunately. But it's just such a good house that neither of us were considering not snatching it up when we saw it. It's only a few years old and also seems perfect for us since we have pets.
I see. Well, I really am glad that you two are so pleased with what you found then. That's great news. I guess that means that you didn't like the houses that I sent over as suggestions when you were still looking?
Well, Randy was the one who was looking into the houses that you sent. But then he started looking into the neighborhoods they were located in, and they didn't seem so great. And I guess I'm just a bit of a scaredy cat, so I asked that we live somewhere else. But thank you so much for wanting to help us with our search. It really did mean a lot that you wanted to give us a hand.
No, I am so sorry that I didn't do better research and just sent you what I thought looked nice and in your price range. I didn't bother to do any further reading about the neighborhoods or schools or anything like that.
Well, it really isn't a problem at all now that we found the new house that we're going to live in. I'm just so happy that the search is finally over and we found the place that we want to live.
Speaking of, I guess this means that you two are going to have to really start nailing down those wedding plans then, right? I heard through the grapevine that you were having some trouble finding a venue for the wedding, though.
Yeah, we were having a bit of trouble, but we finally managed to find a spot and put in reservations.
Oh, really? So then you two did end up finding a spot to have your wedding as well?
Well, you remember that one spot that I was talking to you about the last time that we met up, don't you?
I remember you telling me that more than any other place in the world, you wanted to get married there.
Exactly, that place.
But you also told me that it was really, really popular and might be impossible to ever get a reservation in on time.
I know, and I really did think that it was going to be too difficult to do that. But I just didn't give up. I called them a couple times a week to ask about any cancellations, and then finally a space opened up.
So then you basically just kept hounding them until there was an availability?
I mean, basically. But you have to be persistent if you want a reservation at this place. So, one day, I called them and they said there were some open dates right around when we were wanting to get married. So I booked a day right away.
Wow, well, good for you. It sounds like things are really starting to come together for you and Randy then, aren't they?
I sure hope so. I mean, these all seem like good signs to me. But man, it has been so difficult trying to nail everything down. I mean, it's been a while since I felt like I was fighting this hard for bookings and open houses and all these stuff.
I see. Well, you know that you can always ask me for a little help if you need it. I'm more than willing to give a hand if you need it.
Thank you so much. I mean, you really don't know how much it means to have someone that I can talk to about all of this. And since you offered, I really just might end up taking you up on that. I really am glad that I have such a great sister-in-law like you that I can always count on. Thanks again for everything.
Oh, don't make me blush. You know that I'm just happy to be there for you when you need me. Just let me know if there's anything else you might need. By the way, does that mean that you've officially booked and paid for the wedding venue? I assume so, since you were so set on getting a date there.
I'm actually going to call them in a week to try and finalize everything. I didn't have all the money I would need to make the booking when I made the reservation a week ago.
I see. Well, yeah, that sounds like you still might have a lot on your plate for the time being then. Maybe best to get back home and think all of this through so it all goes along smoothly. I had one friend who just kind of rushed their wedding plans without stepping back to think about the wider picture and the larger plan, and they ended up with a very expensive ceremony that they were only okay with.
Oh, I see. Well, that is a good point then. I don't want to dig myself into a hole that I won't be able to get out of. You're right. I guess there is still quite a bit that I need to think about. But I'm really glad that you came to me so that I could talk to you about all of this.
Of course, it's my pleasure. I know that there are probably a million things going on inside of your head right now, so it can be hard to keep everything straight. But for now, you've gotten your dream wedding venue booked, and that's a huge check on your to-do list. By the way, is it really true that your wedding day is the same day you and Randy had your first date?
Yes, it is true. But that isn't actually why we chose to go with that date. It just so happened that our schedules happened to match up around that time of year, and then that day happened to be free.
I see, but then again, it would be kind of hard not to go with a date like that, right? I mean, it's just too perfect if you ask me.
I mean, You're very right there. I'd be lying if I said that we didn't know what we were doing at all.
That's great. Well, anyways, my boss is calling me into his office right now, so I think I have to go.
Oh, yes, I guess lunch is almost over, isn't it? I guess I should probably start getting things ready as well.
Of course. So sorry for taking up your lunch break talking about this.
It was no bother at all. I really enjoyed catching up with you and getting to talk about all of this. Thank you for listening and for offering so much helpful advice.
It's my pleasure. I guess we'll talk later then. Have a good day.
Hey, Hilda, are you there? Do you have a second to talk? I was just wondering if I could talk to you about something really quick.
Yeah, sure. What's up? Did you have another wedding question or something?
Well, the thing is that my reservation at that venue I was talking to you about got canceled.
Oh, really? You mean you got a call from there saying that your reservation was gone or something?
Hilda, I am going to ask you straight, so please don't play dumb with me. Were you the one who canceled it?
What? What do you mean by that? I'm sure I have no idea at all what you're talking about. How could you just accuse me of something like that? It doesn't make any sense. I'm shocked that you would even say something like that.
I think the one who is most shocked here is me. I mean, how could you do this to me? When I called them and they said the reservations had been canceled, I asked what phone number they got a call from to do that. And they gave me your phone number, Hilda.
Wait, what? The staff members actually gave you my phone number? What is the matter with them? Don't they know anything about privacy laws? They can't just hand out my personal information like that.
Well, I asked them to help me confirm how many reservations were canceled without my knowing. They gave me your number because it was attached to my file that they had on hand. Thankfully, I won't have to pay any kind of cancellation fee for what you've done. But I can't believe that you would do this to me.
But what other choice did I have? I can't just have you marrying my brother, you know.
Wait, what? What do you mean by that? I don't get it.
I mean, you really think you're good enough to be with someone as cool and smart and handsome as Randy? You're just a fat, ugly nobody. You were never, ever going to be accepted into this family. I guess you haven't figured this out yet, but Randy basically only dates fat, ugly girls like you to make himself feel better.
No, that can't be right. You're lying to me.
You really think that me, his sister, who has seen every girl Randy has brought home, is lying to you about this? No, it's the truth. You never stood a chance of actually joining our family, so you might as well just cancel your engagement with Randy right now.
But I can't do that.
So you mean to tell me that even though you know your fiance's sister is against your marriage, you're still going to try and go through with it? You really are a troublesome woman, do you know that? Honestly, I would be impressed if it wasn't so obnoxious.
You know, I've always felt that way. Like I wasn't good enough to be with Randy. I never could see what he saw in me. But the fact of that matter is that I want to marry him and he wants to marry me, and that's all that matters.
Of course that's not all that matters. I won't let you two get married. You'll see.
What do you mean? How on earth do you think you're going to stop us from getting married?
Because I'll stop at nothing to make sure that your wedding doesn't happen. It isn't fair. You don't deserve to be happy, and you don't deserve to be in my family. So you can count me out of your wedding. Do you understand? And just how do you think Randy is going to act when he learns that his own sister isn't going to be at his wedding?
Well, I think that you would really upset him if you did that, actually.
That's kind of the whole point, Marie. I am going to show my brother that a woman like you is just going to make him sad. And then every day, he'll start to love you less and less, until your marriage is nothing but a sham. And then he'll have hopefully realized what a mistake he's made being with you, and then he'll finally leave your fat ass.
I don't get it. Is all this hate for me really just because I'm a heavier person? I mean, do you just want me to lose weight?
It doesn't matter if you lose weight now, you'll still be a fat person at heart. Nothing you ever do will overcome that.
Hilda, that is a really awful way to view people, I think. But I'm afraid that it isn't going to change the way that I feel about your brother. Anyways, I'm going to tell Randy about what you did to our wedding plans.
Fine, go ahead and tell him. See if I care. I'm going to go and tell him that your wedding is off. I'm going to ask him to leave you and find someone better and more well-suited to him. After all, I have plenty of friends that he can pick from.
And do you really think that your brother is just going to go along with all of that?
I think that I'll show my brother the tier of woman he can get with if he wants. And once he realizes how horrible you are in comparison, he'll surely choose to marry someone else. So I wouldn't hold your breath on this wedding happening.
Hilda, are you there? We have seriously got to talk. What is the matter with you? Why would you just send trash to my workplace? That was you again, wasn't it?
What are you talking about this time? Why are you always trying to blame me for all the problems going on in your life?
Are you telling me that this really wasn't you? Because I am seriously thinking of reporting this to the police and they will find out who sent it.
Okay then, go report your little trash problem to the police. Don't waste my time like you're doing now, though.
Now, Hilda, I understand that for whatever reason you really don't seem to like me. But you can't go taking out this weird grudge of yours while I'm at work, okay? It's just unacceptable.
No, you know it's unacceptable, just how unbearable having to deal with you is. Why won't you just leave my brother already? I mean, I heard that you two are legally married now. Did my opposition mean nothing to you? I told you that you two weren't allowed to get married.
And I thought I told you that was something between Randy and I. You don't have a say in whether or not we get married, do you understand? And nothing you say now is going to change anything.
Well, you two better not have your actual wedding, or else there is going to be serious hell to pay. I will make sure that the whole thing comes crashing down around you.
I don't get it, Hilda. I thought that you and I were getting along so well. I really don't know what I did to make you dislike me, but I just wish that we could be adults and talk this out.
Talk this out? I don't ever want to see your face again, let alone talk anything out. I mean, how dare you get married to my brother? No, you and I are never ever going to see each other again.
Are you really sure you want to leave things like this? I mean, I'm sure that Randy would love to talk to you about this as well. I think he's starting to get really confused and upset with you. Don't you at least want to explain yourself to your brother? I mean, I know how close the two of you are and I don't want to ruin that.
Oh, please. If you didn't want to ruin it, then you should have stayed away from him in the first place. Just your existence is ruining what he had together. I knew my brother before you even knew he existed, and yet now you think you can just barge in, marry him, and pretend like it's nothing.
Hilda, is that how you really feel about all of this? Then I really just don't know what to say. But I want you to know that your brother makes me very happy, and I make him happy, and I'm not sure what about that makes you so unhappy.
I don't even care what the two of you do anymore. Just know that I am not going to let you get away with this. And I just want you to know that you're going to look hideous in your wedding dress, and everyone is going to talk about how horrible you look and what an awful couple you are. So enjoy your wedding when everyone is talking behind your back. Hey there, Marie. I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry about what happened to your wedding.
Hey, Hilda, sorry. What do you mean by that exactly?
I just mean about your wedding ceremony, you know? I know that my brother said that the whole thing was off, right? But you know that my brother isn't even upset about it? He said that if I wasn't going to be at the wedding, then it wasn't one that he should be having. So I guess that means that you've been officially dumped and left all on your own.
No, actually, I'm pretty sure he just told you that so you would keep quiet and stay out of our way. But we've already had our wedding.
Wait, what? What do you mean? Randy told me yesterday that nothing was going to happen. What do you mean that your wedding already happened?
I mean that it literally just happened. We just wrapped it up right now. Randy figured that you would trust whatever he told you, so he came up with that lie so that you wouldn't interfere with us.
But I don't understand. This isn't making any sense to me. How could this be?
Well, it happened because I told him all about how you canceled our wedding venue reservations and kept threatening to do even more if the two of us got married.
So then, you two really already got married? And you did it today? That still doesn't make sense, though. I mean, our parents left to go abroad just a few days ago. Are you telling me that they weren't there either?
No, the wedding was in Italy and your parents are here with us.
But you mean you all went to go to your wedding in Italy and you left me here all alone?
Yep. Not just your parents, though. Plenty of your relatives and mine showed up to help Randy and I celebrate. Of course, I am still upset that we couldn't get the original venue that we wanted, but I'm not about to complain about what we ended up with.
No, this can't be happening. I mean, I thought you had given up on the wedding. I didn't even hear that you made a second reservation for another venue, but now you're telling me it's because you made your plans in Italy?
Yeah. It was a bit last minute, I will admit. And even though I saw so many of our relatives were there, that was basically it. It was a very small ceremony, and there couldn't have been more than a couple dozen people.
So then you two went through with it, and everyone knows about it? Randy, Mom, and Dad all lied to me about the wedding and then left without saying a word to me about it?
That's right. We were all really thinking hard about what to do with you. Then your mom told us about how you went through her phone. Something that you do a lot, I guess? To find out when our wedding was going to be happening. So that's when we realized that he just had to keep our plans absolutely secret. And that's when Randy suggested getting married overseas. So we left no traces of texts and did all of our planning and coordination over the phone.
So you all tricked me. You all went this far just to keep me from knowing about the wedding. I thought we were all family here. This wasn't supposed to happen like this. How could you all do this to me?
I asked you to accept that Randy and I were getting married over and over again. But all you did was return that with threats that you would do something to ruin our wedding. You put me into the position where I felt like I couldn't do anything but lie to you. And all your family agreed that it was the best way to keep you from doing anything that would completely embarrass your brother and I. If you don't like what's happened, I'm afraid that you have no one to blame but yourself.
But I don't get it. Randy told me that you two weren't getting married. My own brother lied to me. I've tried texting him, but he isn't reading any of my messages now.
Well, that's probably because him and your parents have all decided to block you while we're here. We just wanted nothing to do with you after all that you've been putting me through. And quite frankly, I'm really not sure if they're going to want to do anything with you when we get back. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have my honeymoon to enjoy. After her parents got back from Italy, they talked to Hilda and told her that they were cutting her out of their lives and never wanted to see her again. They also promised Randy and I not to ever tell Hilda a word about us ever again. We even had to find a new house to move into since Hilda found out where we were planning on going. Although that was a search that I started as soon as I learned that Hilda canceled my wedding venue reservations. As for Hilda, she fell into a deep depression after her family basically all turned their backs on her. I guess she just couldn't bring herself to understand why this was her fault. I can only hope for her sake, though, that one day she realizes the mistake she made. And maybe by the time she does that, all of us will finally be ready to let her back into our lives. Thank you for watching! If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.